All right, question 7, final question for this circle game. Question specific condition. Starting off with that once again. So if K is immediately next to O, then L cannot sit directly between which players? All right, so K is next to O. We know M cannot be next to K. That's rule 3. We know N and P have to be next to each other. And we know L has to be next to M or N. So L cannot sit directly between which players? So here I'm actually just going to go ahead and create a few acceptable solutions, and then we're going to see what we get. We've got N and P next to each other and K and O next to each other. No reason I can't add KO here, then M, then L. So P and N are next to each other, M and L are next to each other, K and M are not next to each other, O and M are next to each other, but O and P are not. So L can sit directly between M and N, no problem with that. So we can eliminate C. Now let's try and just go through the answer choices here. So can L be between K and M? So L, K is next to O, right? And M on the other side, so L and M. And then we can have P next to O is fine, and it has to be next to N. N and M next to each other is okay. So P and N, we've fulfilled that condition. ML fulfilled that condition. M and K can't be next to each other, so we fulfilled rule 3. O and P are next to each other, and O and M are not, so rule 4 is fulfilled. So A is okay, so we can eliminate it. The next, we have K next to O, again, is our starting point. And then B suggests we put N on the other side of K. So no problem there. Okay, oh wait, sorry. Here we're being asked, can L sit directly between K and N? And that's actually, okay, so N, L, K, that's what we would be looking at, right? L between the two of them. So we need P on the other side. Ooh. We almost got close to breaking rule 4, it looked like, but we actually have O just beside M. So that's okay. So we fulfilled rule 1. Rule 2 we fulfilled as well. Rule 3, keeping K and M apart, we fulfilled that. And then because O and M are next to each other, we can't have O and P next to each other. That one is fine as well. So B we can also eliminate. All right. K and O is our starting place, but now we're testing to see if L can sit directly between M and P. So M, L, P. Is that possible? On the other side of P, we need N, and then we would have to add KO to one on the other side here, but it looks like that's going to work out fine. If O is next to M, it's not going to be next to P, which we would be worried about. We need to make sure that K and M are not next to each other, so that's okay as well. So PN fulfills rule 1, LM fulfills rule 2, M and K are separated, which fulfills rule 3, and if O and P are together, O and M cannot be, and if O and M are together, which they are, then O and P cannot be, so rule 4 is fine as well. So the correct answer must be E. So there must be some reason that we cannot have L directly between N and O. So L directly between N and O, so that would put L here, and N would be on the other side. And then who do we have left? We have P and M, so P would be on the other side of K and M is here. What's wrong with that? Ooh, we can't put N next to P, so that breaks rule 1, or it breaks rule 3, right? So KOLN is what we're testing, right? K and O together, that's the question-specific condition. And we're testing to see if L can sit directly between O and N, because we're testing answer choice E. So what we have to start with is KOLN, and then we're adding P and M. So if we have MP, then we've separated N and P, which we're not allowed to do. And if we have PM, then M and K end up being next to each other, which isn't allowed. So in this one, the first scenario here, I've broken rule 1, and in the second scenario, I've broken rule 3. So there's no way to put L between O and N in this scenario where K is immediately next to O. There's no way to put L between N and O without breaking a rule. So L cannot sit directly between N and O. E is the correct answer.